Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. As you all get settled in, we have a few housekeeping items that we are going to go over. The first of which is that today's presentation is going to be all in English. This presentation is also currently being recorded. This recording will be shared with you, as well as the presentation will be shared with you after we are done here today. And so with that, I just want to again, thank you all for joining us. My name is Ryan Rodriguez. I'm a product marketing manager here at Siegel Software. With me today, I have two of my colleagues, Dan Qualiana, our Senior Vice President of Product, and Lee Stevens, our Principal Sales Engineer. As far as the items on the agenda that we have today, as you all should know, we're going to be going over BarTender 11.4. That is the latest version of BarTender software, in which we will go over the newest features and enhancements in this software release. From there, we will then pass it over to Dan to walk us through the BarTender product strategy and delivery. And then we definitely will have time for a Q&A after we are done. So if you have any questions during the presentation, please put those into the Q&A function, and we will do our best to answer as many of those as we have time here for today. Great. So with that, before we get into 11.4, I definitely just wanted to talk about, what is happening in the current landscape within our supply chains. They are getting even more intricate and complex by the day, with so many different moving parts. And this increasing complexity is not only getting more intricate, but it's also there's more pressure coming to it, because customers are continuing to demand more and expecting more from these brands, especially as e-commerce continues to grow, with customers expecting faster delivery times and expecting to know, where exactly their orders are. And within all of that, that high amount of stress is really wearing on your teams, as you're expected to accomplish more with fewer hands, with the ongoing labor shortages that I know most of you are currently facing. And the ongoing trade wars are, again, really driving that uncertainty that you're all having to work with. And between all of that, it's you're having to also resolve any disruptions that might come your way, especially those that you're not able to quickly see ahead of time. And so it's more important than ever to ensure that your operations are not only flexible, but reliant and stable, so you can stay competitive in the market. And that really starts with your labeling, because you may not realize, but labels do play a big piece as the heart of your supply chain, letting your teams know exactly the information that they need to know in order for them to successfully execute their tasks at hand, knowing, such as where raw materials were sourced from the contents of an order that they are looking for, helping them, build those bills of lading, verify their pick lists, and so much more. Without proper labeling, it makes it very difficult for your teams to get their jobs done and to get your products to market quickly. And so this labeling really acts as that digital intelligence to really drive that optimization across your operations. And that's where BarTender comes in, because BarTender really enables that digital intelligence to help you build that smarter supply chain. Many of the world's most dynamic supply chains really rely on BarTender for its ready-to-use label design tools, the ability to print from anywhere, anytime, and industry-leading flexible integrations and database connections. But it's not just the software that is really helping these customers continue to grow and stay competitive within the market. But BarTender really offers a complete ecosystem of labeling experts, from printer manufacturers to business applications to our partner resellers. We really work with an extensive range of industry-leading partners to ensure that they help you build the labeling solution that best fits your specific business needs, no matter where you are within the supply chain. Whether you're a manufacturer or a single store retailer, we really want to help you continue to optimize your operations within your labeling. But BarTender really is just a single piece of the overall Siegel software solution. BarTender really focuses on that printer management and serialization to help create those digital and identifiers to enable that precise labeling and tracking from the start. But Mojix also is a part of the Siegel software solution, acting as a complementary piece that provides that complete item level visibility across the entire supply chain, ensuring traceability and transparency from source to shelf, and helping to combine these expertises together. Siegel really helps to build, support your business needs for accurate asset tracking and robust supply chain visibility. And so with that, let's take a minute to go through what is included with the latest version of BarTender software, BarTender 11.4. So as you all should know, BarTender has four main pillars that support your labeling operations: label design, printing, compliance, and integrations. These capabilities have been the driving force behind our bulletproof on-premise software solution, and as of a couple years ago, we have also launched these capabilities into the cloud, providing on-demand and flexible labeling capabilities. And since then, we have delivered many of these on-premise solutions to the cloud while introducing new flexible cloud-based capabilities. And so with the release of 11.4, I'm happy to share that we have taken that first step to building a complete hybrid solution that enables users to do whatever they need to do to complete their labeling from anywhere, anytime, however it is that they want to work, whether it's securely printing from their local desktops and managing or designing labels from anywhere, anytime. We are driving that hybrid solution now, and BarTender 11.4 is that first step. With BarTender 11.4, we have transformed several cloud capabilities to be compatible now with the on-premise software to combine our bulletproof reliability that is known within the software solution with the flexible cloud solutions. This can be seen with what is available now in BarTender 11.4. We have a lot of great new features and enhancements included with this new software release. Within label design and printing, we've added Print Portal OneDriver, the common template library. We've also expanded asymmetric DPI printer support, and as well as adding support for Google Fonts. We've also updated our third-party components by providing now support for .NET 8 and Windows Server 2025. We've added a new Actions API command, and this release also includes over 115 additional product enhancements, ranging from improved local and remote printing for increased accuracy, expanded PDF printing supports, updated pre-built compliance tools, improved print time record selection and label template proofing, and improved automated labeling through Integration Builder. So there is a lot that's really included with 11.4, and so let's take a minute to walk through some of these new features. The first is previously, if you were looking to add a new printer through Print Portal, the first step that you would have to do in order to get that new printer up and running is that you would have to install the printer driver onto the client side. And then as a secondary step, you would have to then install the printer driver onto the server side. Once these steps are then completed, you would then be able to print from that printer. So it's a very simple, straightforward process, as I'm sure most of you are already well aware of. And so not much to it, right? Well, that really starts to become an issue once you start to add multiple new printers, because again, following that two-step process, you would have to install the printer driver on the client and the server side. You would then have to repeat that process again for the second printer, again installing on the client and the server, and then rinse and repeat that process again for the additional printers that you're looking to add. So that simple two-step process really starts to add up over time. As you can see here, where that two-step now easily became 10 with just 5 printers. Again, this starts to really add not only stress onto your time, but also to your IT resources, especially if they're fairly scarce. So that's where the Print Portal 1 driver comes in, because again, if we take that similar scenario where we're adding multiple new printers, again, what you would have to do is you would just only need to install the printer driver for that specific client or for that specific printer onto the client side and do that for each of your printers. But rather than having to then take those printer drivers and then install them onto the server side, all you would need to do is just install the Print Portal 1 driver onto the server side to then connect with each of those printers. The Print Portal 1 driver supports over 95% of all printer models supported by Drivers by Siegel, which is over 10,000 models that are currently supported within Drivers by Siegel. So there's a great chance that many of the printers that you're working with will be supported here, and that you can look to really cut that process in half, as you can see here, and help reduce that IT workload. The next thing is looking here at the current template library that I'm sure most of you are well aware of, that is in the BarTender software on-premise solution. When trying to use a current template from the template library, it's not super intuitive, because you're not able to, search for a specific label template or filter. You just have to use your best discretion to navigate the different folders that you see here. Again, you then it's not super dynamic, so that if there are any changes to these label templates, or if there are new mandates being introduced, those would have to be included, or you would have to wait until the next software release to then update your software and be able to then use those templates. So with that, I'm happy to share that we have now introduced the BarTender Common Template Library. This is a single label template library that is shared between all BarTender products, that is accessible online. So whether you're designing from the cloud or designing from the software on-premise solution, you can have access to the same current, most up-to-date label templates that are available. So as if there are any changes to any of these templates for new changes that have come to standards or regulations, or new regulatory mandates are getting introduced, as soon as those label templates are published to the template library, they are available for immediate use. So you no longer have to wait for that next release, and therefore simplifying the compliance piece to, again, have that quick access to those label template libraries, or the label templates. The label template library also includes over 400 pre-built label templates from the get-go. And with that, because there are so many different new label templates included with this, you can also search now for the specific label template that you're looking for, or you can filter by standards, industry, application, and more to help you quickly find what you are looking for. So as I mentioned, this is an online template library. If for your specific business need or application, you do not have access to the template, or to the online template library, because you don't have an internet connection, don't worry, we still have the template library available inside the product, but just take note that it is not as dynamic as the common template library. We have also expanded our marking and coding solutions with the addition of the new Drivers by Siegel release, which has added over 400 new printer drivers, again, on top of our over 10,000 that we have readily available right now. This includes support for the Domino GX series and support for Rongta technologies. When paired with our expanded asymmetric DPI printer supports, you can now look to streamline your label template management and manage fewer templates, as you no longer need to adjust your template format to the specific specifications of said printer. You can just easily start working with that one template instead, and therefore ensuring consistent labeling quality regardless of whichever printer that you're looking to use and print to. Some additional bartender features that we've also added, again, we've updated support for our third-party components. This includes support now for .NET 8 and Windows Server 2025. We've also added support for Google Fonts, bringing font parity between all bartender products. So no matter if you are designing labels from the cloud or locally on your desktop workstation, you can make sure that your templates are standardized across all bartender products. And we started to slowly bring in that new visual identity into the bartender product, as seen here with a couple of examples within our dialog boxes, file icons, and splash screens. And so taking these features that we've gone over, everything that we have gone through is essentially available for all bartender editions. So all features and enhancements are included except for the Print Portal One driver. This is only going to be available for any edition that has access to Print Portal. So that would be professional and above. So that is the only difference with this software release. But if you are working on a legacy version of BarTender, let's say BarTender 2016 or 2019, you're not only missing out on a lot of the newest features and technologies included with 11.4, but a lot of additional technologies that we have introduced over time, such as the BarTender REST API, Visual Workflow Designer, license server redundancy. There's a lot of new features and enhancements that we've introduced over the years. And so it's really important to get your software up to the latest version to ensure that you're continuing to stay competitive within the market and ensure that your business systems are continuing to stay supported. If you have any questions on how to get started on your update process or your update journey, don't worry, we have several different options for you to get started today. First of which is to make sure that you have an active maintenance and support agreement. That can easily be done by renewing that MSA, which is the traditional option to go. But if you're also looking to save some money on those labeling costs, easily take advantage of our Bartender License Flex program. This is the #1 option for cost efficiency, as well as helping you look to upgrade and continuing to add on to your labeling operations if you're looking to add new printers. And if you're worried about getting back onto the newest version of Bartender software, but you've had reactivation fees continuing to be added on top of your software, don't worry, the License Flex program also has options for you to avoid all those reactivation fees. Additionally, you can consolidate your bartender software licenses. This helps to simplify your labeling management, and potentially you could even get more from Bartender while paying less, because rather than having to pay for multiple bartender licenses, you can just consolidate into one and potentially upgrade that so you can get more feature or more access to other features that you did not have previously. The other thing is to also get help from our bartender professional services team. Again, they are there to support you if you have no idea of how to get started. We have an upgrade assessment to help you build a software update action plan. And if you don't even want to do anything about it, don't want to lift a finger, that's fine. They have options for you so that you don't have that, so they can do it for you and that you don't have to do anything. So if you're having questions on what the Bartender License Flex program is, this is a great program to help you save money on your labeling costs. On average, many customers can save about 17% of their annual labeling costs from Bartender through the License Flex program versus continuing to renew their maintenance and support on an annual basis. Along with those cost savings, you can also add and remove printers whenever you need. You can minimize those upfront costs and upgrade from upgrades and add-ons. Stay current with the newest Bartender product updates as we continue to roll those out more frequently. We are also allowing you to maintain the license that you already have. You do not need to get a new PKC with this program. Again, as I mentioned, if you have reactivation fees that you're worried about having to pay back, don't worry. That all gets waived if you purchase a 3-year agreement. That just gets you immediately onto good standing with 3 years ahead. And if you are running BarTender 2019, as you all should know, BarTender 2019 will be reaching end of support at the end of this month, but you can get extended support for BarTender 2019 through April 30th of next year through the program. Also, if you want to take advantage of the program, but you're worried about, but that your maintenance or what is going to happen to your maintenance that you still have remaining, don't worry. That maintenance that you have left over gets added on top of your agreement. So rather than having to wait till your agreement is over, you can simply just add that on top of your license flex agreement to take advantage of it today. So let's say you have 6 months remaining left of your contract, but you want to get started and get onto that license flex program, and you want to purchase a 1 year, that license agreement easily becomes an 18-month agreement. Please take note that this is only available for customers running through BarTender 2019 or newer. If you are not on BarTender 2019 and if you're on 2016 or an older version, please just contact your BarTender reseller or our sales team, and we'd be happy to help you figure out the best action plan to help you get onto the newest version of the software while taking advantage of the License Flex program. So I know that was a lot of information all at once. So just as a quick recap, again, BarTender 11.4 is the first step for us to really build that hybrid labeling solution. We have taken several new of those cloud-based capabilities that we've introduced with BarTender Cloud and have transformed them to offer greater flexibility for scaling businesses looking to continue to meet those compliance needs. That can be seen with the driverless remote printing from Print Portal OneDriver, simplified regulatory compliance from the BarTender Common Template Library, and again, helping you maximize your uptime and mitigate those service vulnerabilities with support now for .NET 8 and Windows Server 2025. So if you are wanting to get started today, again, contact your BarTender reseller or our sales team, and we'll help you answer any questions that you may have or provide any additional information. And with that, I will now pass it over to Dan.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Ryan. What a great, exciting update we have with the 11.4 release. Really appreciate you walking through everything. But I'm sure a number of people are really kind of wondering, well, what's next? Obviously, this is a fantastic release with some great things in there, but where are we looking to take BarTender as we go forward? So let me walk through a few things that, we really see as some of the key deliverables that we really need to focus on to make sure we are giving you the value you are looking for. So these are really more across the BarTender portfolio. So as I go through these, Ryan talked about how when we have our current on-premise product, we are adding some cloud capabilities in it. That is true. We will be maintaining the on-premise printing capability within that product. However, there are certain capabilities, and Ryan walked through some of those, that template library, and some others where there's great value to be had by having that network connection and cloud connection to enable more within that. So you'll hear a lot as we move forward of how we're aligning both our cloud and on-premise and building more towards a hybrid cloud type of approach so that we can deliver value across that whole portfolio. So one of our first things as we looked within the cloud space here is, we really needed to really shore up some of the stability and performance as we've started to see dramatic growth. And over the last 6 months, we've been able to roll out 6 maintenance releases. We actually just had our latest one that came through this last weekend to the North America region, and then we're rolling that maintenance release out to the Asia Pacific region next weekend. We've seen some great enhancements in terms of that performance that have then been delivered back to the customers. We also, with my team coming in, I've been here now 9 months, and really just thrilled about the progress that's been made. So we've been able to establish our strategy and roadmap for the entire year of 2025. And as part of that, we're really trying to socialize that across to our customer and partner base so that people understand the direction we're going in. And that's part of what we're going to be doing right now. But we also want to make sure that we are regularly delivering value. And so, as part of that, we are now striving to do 3 cloud releases, or let me just put it a different way, 1 monthly cloud release and 1 quarterly on premise release and 1 quarterly driver release. Now, obviously, if there are patches, security, new vulnerabilities discovered that we need to react to, we are not limited to only those updates, but that's a minimum that we are striving to do. And that's so that we can regularly be delivering that value out to all of you. And then we also need to be a lot more tightly tied in with what's going on in the product and in the market to make sure we are delivering the value that you need and the performance that you need in the product. And we've made some great headway there. So we are actively tied in very closely with our customers through some quarterly business reviews that our customer success team is doing. We have a partner advisory council, and we've been sitting in and connecting with a lot of other customers. We're also working on doing some broader outreach. So be on the lookout in the next few months for some surveys so that we can get feedback from you on how effectively the system is working and where are areas you'd like to see it grow. So I'm also really excited. When we talk about doing those monthly and quarterly releases, we outlined that strategy in Q4 of last year, and we have been able to deliver on that. If you look in the chart in the top right, you can see that on the cloud side, each month we have been able to deliver our updates. For this on-premise release, we had our beta so that we could test that with a few of our customers and partners prior to the general release. And then we were able to get that rollout in March. We currently, we've been able to kind of establish all of our release dates across the rest of the year. And just to make sure we're avoiding holidays and various things, the next on-premise release is coming out in early July. So be on the lookout as that comes through. But what else are we doing? So I mentioned earlier is that security, stability, performance, that's a top thing that we need to make sure we focus on. So Seagull has very closely been working to make sure that we are SOC 1 and 2 compliant. We are making some changes so that we could drive towards an ISO 27001 that we hope to be able to announce as we move forward in Q2. We also want to make sure we're working very closely within the enterprise and the large scale customers to deliver things that they need to streamline their business. So some of those areas that we're focused on would be around ERPs. How can we make it easier to connect and engage with those different ERPs? And throughout this year, you're going to see a number of things that we are working on. We are excited to be able to roll out Microsoft Dynamics this quarter, and we are driving forward with work with SAP and some others so that we can better streamline that and make it as easy as possible to connect with your existing systems that you have today. We also are working on adding in some RFID updates to comply with changes and enhancements that GS1 has been pushed down. So those are going to be coming in the second half of this year. And for anyone who is a manufacturer that's selling through Amazon and participating in their Amazon Transparency program, we'd love to hear from you because we have a printing solution through BarTender to really streamline and simplify that process. We're launching our alpha in our 11.3 cloud release that's coming out shortly. And then we're doing a beta in our 11.4 following up on that. When we look at customer experience and usability, we're really wanting to simplify and align things. So one thing, this kind of ties in on the enterprise features as well. We've heard a lot around forms, the ability to be able to create kind of a simple application that can then feed in with your templates and simplify that printing process. This is something that we are currently building out to be able to deploy jointly across our cloud and on-premise um, products, and we're looking to deliver that towards the end of the year. This is something we are looking to, as I mentioned, have that be more web-based. So that is something that will require an internet connection, but it will work with the on-premise product. But we are looking to tie that in with our subscription customers. So, I know Ryan was talking about License Flex and some of the great enhancements we have there. We're also going to be adding some great subscription only features and capabilities as we move through the year later this year as well. So other reasons to start seeing more value as you're moving in that direction. And then, lastly, this whole concept of how can we help modernize and advance this portfolio? Today, we have a separate cloud and on-premise product. We're looking to really start aligning those more closely, as Ryan was mentioning earlier. So he already talked about some great features that we have deployed. We are continuing to do more work on the back end, some things that are really going to help improve our print engine performance and the speed at which that works. And then some other web designer enhancements that will be applicable for both our cloud and our on-premise customers. So overall, you're going to keep hearing from us that we will be pushing these updates out to you regularly, that as we start moving into particularly Q3, Q4, you're going to be seeing a lot of commonality between releases that are coming from both the cloud and the on-premise side, so that we can drive those great feature enhancements to both products and to the whole customer base that we have across our entire portfolio. So we are super excited about these changes that are coming through. We hope you share our excitement as well. Please, we'd love for everyone to download our latest version of 11.4. We did a patch on top of that where we added a few extra enhancements, 11.4.1, and we'd love for you to download that, start taking advantage of those enhancements, and let us know your feedback. We're really excited to see what else we can deliver to you to continue to add the value you're looking for from BarTender. All right. And with that, we're going to turn things open for our Q&A. So we'd really appreciate if anyone has questions, please open up that Q&A box and you can type those in, and we're happy to be here to answer those.
Awesome. Yes. Thanks, Dan. We do have a few questions here. I believe these will be for Lee. Lee, does BarTender 11.4 support the latest GS1 general specifications?
Short answer, yes. BarTender has had a long history of working in lockstep with GS1, and that is, if anything, only increased. You will find as GS1 rolls out a new standard, we tend to already have everything in place for you. Latest examples are the new GS1 requirements for what are called their RMQR codes, which is basically a QR code, but instead of going in a block form, it goes linear to support narrow structures. And we do it both with the regular RMQR as well as the digital link RMQR. And we will be continuing that.
Awesome. And then how has BarTender improved its support for PDF printing?
Well, a lot of ways. We've made more than 24 different enhancements and improvements in PDF, and really too many to list, but you can go to our release notes. So if you've had challenges with PDF in the past, you're probably going to be very, very pleased with what you get out of 11.4.
Great. Are Google Fonts embedded in BarTender software, or does it require an internet connect or internet access?
Yeah, when BarTender is installed, it will install the Google Fonts for you. So you do not need to separately install Google Fonts in order to get them in BarTender.
Great. I think I answered this one during the presentation, but just so again, it's stated here, can I still access the template library without internet access? The answer is yes. So while the common template library is an online template library that requires an internet connection, we still will have the template library that is downloaded and installed with the BarTender software so that you do not need to have an internet access. But please just, again, make a note that it is not as dynamic as the common template library. So as things change, those won't be reflected into the one that is downloaded onto your software or downloaded onto your hardware. Can the print portal OneDriver be used within a mixed BarTender version environment?
So if you mean by mixed that you have more than just 11.4, is so long as the print portal version of BarTender is 11.4, then it's going to support any browser that's out there, and so it will work with that. If you mean by mixed, if you've got a hybrid where you've got both BarTender Cloud and BarTender Premise running, then the short answer is also yes, because the one driver is basically our premise version of the universal driver, which we already have in BarTender Cloud. So the two of them will work regardless of what platform is being used to generate the print.
Great. This customer says that they are currently on 2016 and are asking if they can go straight to 11.4.
Yes, absolutely. My suggestion is first go to our support page and look up updating to BarTender 11.4, and you will see some options there, including if you have BarTender 2016 or earlier, and that will give you a complete guide to doing the upgrade. Additionally, if you've got a fairly extensive BarTender deployment, or it's been a long time since you actually had to look inside of BarTender because BarTender just keeps working, why bother to look at it? Then I would also recommend contacting a SQL salesperson and arranging for our professional services team to do an upgrade assessment. Between what we have on the web page and what the upgrade assessment will give you, you combine the two of them together and you are good to go. You will know exactly what to do and you'll have all of the information you need in order to execute.
Perfect. Does BarTender integrate with Epicor?
Yes, we do integrate with Epicor. Epicor is one of our partners, and we have been supporting Epicor for a very long time.
Great.
I think we had one there also on working with Workday. So Workday also, yes, that's a partner that we are actively working with, and we are working on creating a connector to make that engagement between Workday and BarTender as even more seamless than it is today.
Yes. Yeah, the thing to keep in mind, if you're wondering if BarTender can work with a particular MES, ERP, WMS, LIMS, any of the S's that are out there pretty much, BarTender is agnostic when it comes to the data source. We can work with almost anything. I used to joke that if you could only send it to BarTender and smoke signals, I could figure out a way of getting BarTender to integrate with it.
And yes, and I'm assuming that would include this other one specifically for PasteJet, so WMS, which I would assume is a part of that agnostic.
Yes, we have quite a number of PaceJet customers that we've been working and supporting, more than I can count, really.
I think this is our last one. Can I design one BarTender format file to support multiple different brand printers?
Absolutely. In fact, contact your Siegel salesperson. We have a technical paper on that called One Label, Many Printers. BarTender dynamically can adjust a label to so that it will automatically print in the best fashion possible to any printer, regardless of changes in DPI or manufacturer and so on. Extremely useful. No more do you need to have one label per printer model, make and model. You can have just one label and print to anything.
Wonderful. All right. I do not see any other questions. And so I think we are good to wrap up here. Again, I just want to thank you all again for your time. As you can tell from all of us, we are very excited about this version of BarTender software, and we are excited for more to come of what Dan has shared with us today. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Good.
So thank you, everyone.